tonight, we have got the C3 Beat Check, and we have Mark Burgeon from the Believe in Steelers podcast, who is co-host with Ike Taylor. And they do the Believe in. They're going to help us preview the Pittsburgh matchup tomorrow at 8:30. That guess we're going to try to line up potentially a Panthers beat reporter at 8. Cody and I will jump on a few minutes before and hang out with Mark Burgeon of the Believe in Pittsburgh Steelers podcast. But real shout out though to my man Cam Rogers, who is helps run the Believe network. And he's the one that always gets us these guests, man. He's been so gracious and so thoughtful of the C3 Panthers podcast, because Tony gets so slack sometimes, particularly when it's the last week of school. I'm grading exams and papers like crazy. I'm so behind right now. It is crunch time for me. But you, Cam Rogers, is partnering with Run Your Pool. And he's got something coming up. And what you can see is I'm going to give you guys, I put the image up, or the kind of, I guess, what is it? The pamphlet for this. What he does is he will be hosting a college football game challenge for his new betting show. It's free to play. So what you just do is you go pick all the bowl games for college football that's coming up. You get a free entry, and first place gets $1,000. So I guess the more people that do this, so support Cam Rogers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now of how you can play this, and then I will put it hopefully in the show description. This came right to me at the last second before we started the show, but he's so thoughtful and gracious with our guests. Want to make sure, and hey, it's free. Go. Who doesn't like a free entry to try to just pick some teams, man? So that's fun right there. And then next up, one of the things we wanted to kind of do is make this show longer. It's 11:59, and we want to make this show longer. And I've been dying to do a little bit more than beyond the Panther, or just the Panthers, and at least look around the NFL news briefly on the show for a moment. Tonight in NFL news, first and most interestingly and related to the Carolina Panthers, they have decided to go with Desmond Ritter. We mentioned this earlier, wondering why they hadn't, given their anemic offense that they've been putting together, but they have been in the hunt. I'm sure that they continue to look at themselves in the hunt for the NFC South as well, and probably thinking, man, Marcus Mariota gives us the best chance. But they decided to go with Ritter, but wildly, Marcus Mariota seemingly has not taken the news well, has left the team, guys. He's left the team.
So he left?
Yes. I'll give you I had the quote. I'm going to pull the quote up. But yes, he was told this. They're going to end up putting him on injured reserve because he has a questionable knee. But he just quit, dude. He quit the team. That's what it seems like. And some people are having a hard time believing this, because particularly people that were fans of him in Tennessee, or at least saying things didn't work out or blah, blah, blah in Tennessee. But everything. I'm going to give you the quote from Arthur Smith. So you haven't heard about this?
I knew that they were going to start Desmond Ritter, but I hadn't heard anything about Mariota leaving.
Yeah, I didn't know he was leaving. Yeah.
But like, when you say leave, what, he just left the building, or they waived him, or what?
This is what they are. It says this. This is according to who wrote this story. This is on The Athletic right now. Is the Falcons don't know when. Hold on. It's a Falcons head coach Arthur Smith knew he was taking a risk last week when he chose to make rookie Desmond Ritter his starting quarterback. What he didn't know at the time is he wouldn't have a safety net for the decision. That's how things turned out, though, when veteran Marcus Mariota left the team, at least temporarily, to have what Smith described as a chronic knee issue evaluated. The Falcons don't know when or if Mariota, who started 13 games this season, will return to the team, and they anticipate placing the quarterback on injured reserve. When asked about this, Arthur Smith said this: the knee, it is nothing that has been an issue this season but that's Mariota's prerogative. So, of course, you want all your guys to be here, but guys have to make decisions. It's part of the professional sports. You have to have contingency plans. And then he was asked about how he took the news. And I don't know if it was in this order, but goes on to say this is that those conversations are never easy. You try to be truthful, whether they agree or not. Those are conversations you have to have. So look, is that it seems like he would have played if he was a starter, the knee wouldn't have been problematic. He quit.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's I don't know. To me, it doesn't speak very well of Mariota. Like you're not a particular.
It seems out of character. A lot of Mariota fans have said.
New Daddio in the chat room just said, he's been playing on a bad leg, but also if you're the Falcons, I completely understand it. Like they're doing what I wish the Panthers had the ability to do, and that's see what they have in their rookie quarterback that they drafted. To know what they have long term and to get them some meaningful playing time. I understand. Yeah, I understand that. And by the way, there's no guarantee that he stays healthy, right? So, okay, you're the backup. You need to be ready to go in.
I know. And you know what? He's been okay with that with the Raiders in different cases. CK, do the Falcons get better with Ritter?
I mean, that's hard to say. I mean, it's hard to say that he's going to be able to come in and make a difference in that offense. The Mariota thing, I think, probably stems from this was his last opportunity to prove he was a starter, right? And if you look at his numbers, he wasn't horrible, right? He was an okay quarterback. He just wasn't putting them over the top. And I think that if they didn't bench him, I think another team would be willing to take a flyer on him next year. So I think that's where his frustration probably lies, if I had to guess. Now, again, that's purely speculative. I don't know. We saw him, and it was clearly not the greatest quarterbacking on the face of the planet. But Desmond Ritter, I'm not entirely confident in after his draft video, where he said that I found out that I was a dad when my girlfriend told me that I was.
Well, one thing is that he did play pretty well in the preseason. He looked like Marcus Mariota was 184 for 300 passing with 2,219 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Other in the news, right? Related, I guess, continued the story. Greg doesn't want to hear his name anymore. Baker Mayfield. I guess this is not even news. Yeah, this is not even news. This was on the NFL.com, and I just saw Baker's name. Yeah. He's to start for the Pack. Like, why wouldn't he start? He came in and won the game like a day over. I don't even know how this is a story, to be honest.
It would be a bigger news story if he wasn't starting.
Yes, right. Yes. And the big blockbuster news last night, as the New England Patriots were able to, win on the road and defeated the Arizona Cardinals, and now have strangely entered into this weird conversation. People are like, should we believe in the Patriots? Hell no, you shouldn't. But Kyler Murray suffered a torn ACL in the first series, I think, of that game. Out for the season, non-contact injury. I didn't see it happen. Did anybody see it? No. But non-contact, turf related continues to be part of the discussion.
The crazy story about to kind of watch out with this is I didn't see this injury because I wasn't going to watch this game last night. My fantasy football season was on the line, and the guy I was playing had Kyler Murray and Richardson from the New England, and both of them got injured in the first quarter in this game.
And really, really sad news here.
Yeah, it's sad.
Mike Leach, Mississippi State coach, has passed away. And anybody who really is just interested in trolling through someone's Twitter line, just look at my tweet, maybe from Monday of last week. And I just said this is Mike Leach. It's a national treasure. I spent my morning watching YouTube videos of him, and it just made my day better. This was last week, and Mike Leach is the best. He's got the wildest takes and stories in the history of the world. One of the best things you can ever watch is how he ranks the mascots for one of the conferences he played in, and like who would be the worst, hardest to fight or beat, like straight up. And it's this crazily in-depth and sophisticated answer. He has these wild takes about candy corn, these fun takes. It makes you love this dude. And there's all of these incredible stories out there. And his legacy was sort of tainted by this one incident where this one former player at Texas Tech claimed that he put him in a storage closet. All of that story was later debunked, it looks like. But Mike Leach is like a honest, crazy character, or was a crazy character. He's passed away now, and what people would describe as the godfather of the air raid offense. Lincoln Riley, former offensive coordinator for the ECU Pirates, Oklahoma Sooner coach who's just slayed it with Baker Mayfield. Kyler Murray, right, who has now got another Heisman winner, and the USC quarterback was first hired by Mike Leach as a student assistant, played under Mike Leach. So this guy, unfortunately, he suffered from a massive heart attack, passed away, I guess this morning or last night. Mike Leach, go watch his stuff on YouTube. It'll just make your life better. You'll realize this is that, you know, if you get upset about every single thing someone says imperfectly, you miss people who have great character and are truly, look, even talking press conference about what he's watching on TV, like Netflix.
Dude, he was incredible.
You know, he's a lawyer.
I mean, look, not only was he great to listen to on the mic, dude, he would say some outlandish shit.
Crazy.
But dude, like from a football perspective, this man is literally one of the most pivotal men in the implementing of the air raid offense. I mean, this is the guy. I mean, that West Coast air raid style of offense, Mike Leach is the guy. And by the way, that's why Mississippi State went out and hired him, because of his passing acumen and the type of offenses that he's been associated with. So, I mean, he is was a very well-respected guy in NFL circles. I feel terrible, man. Only 61 years old. I mean, he was the acting head coach of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. It's terrible. My thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family, and rest in paradise.
Cliff Kingsbury coached under him. The list of people is like you said, the influence on the game of football. One of the things that was great about this is how it not only changed college football, it changed professional football as well. So it's just kind of part of the history of the game of football. We're getting close to Christmas. In fact, what is this? How does this work? Is it when they say you know about this, CK?
So yeah, basically what I'm gathering from this is the first day of the Merry Crispix, right? Is that what he called? Was that what, or Picmas? It was Picmas. Pixmas. Yeah. So basically this is the first day. It just dropped tonight here 10 minutes ago. So if you play a $25 entry, you will get a free $100 entry in addition to that. Or to be able to win an additional 100 for free. So basically what I'm gathering is you do your $25 and then you'll be able to do another $25 to win up to $100. If I'm gathering, I could be wrong on that, but you guys maybe correct me if that's basically what I'm gathering there.
One of the things though is that these plays have to be, if you read the kind of the fine print on this, play 25, get free entry to win 100. So if you play, all right, so they have a thing on PrizePicks where you get free entries. And I haven't got one yet, but I think it's because I haven't been through my promotional funds. I think they give it to people who aren't on their promotional funds anymore. But anybody who plays tomorrow, plays $25, will then today, actually, you're right. Now, here's the catch with this is now this is awesome. When you play $100, you get a free entry to win $250. So you're kind of getting a hedge on your entry. With the opportunity to win even more. But here's the thing is it says this is with only players in action on 12/14. So you're gonna have to be on maybe
that
World Cup, NBA, something like that. But look out for more of these deals or these, and they have these all the time. That's what's that's really cool about PrizePicks. They have Flex Friday where you get a free protected play up to $25, so you can just play $25. If you lose, it was a free entry ultimately. And if you win, you just win what you would have won. You get Taco Tuesdays where you get reduced amounts. You get free entries like Justin Herbert, right? So it's really fun to play PrizePicks. The promo code C3. Make sure you use that. They have been our sponsor this season and have extended with us through January and February, but we'll still be talking about them despite that, because even when they're not a direct paid sponsor, we're going to still affiliate with them with that code because we like PrizePicks so much. So that's the C3 Panthers podcast, except for one last segment. The longest running Panthers podcast out there, the actual longest running podcast.